By the edge of a wide, gentle river, where the willow trees dipped their green fingers into the water, was a cozy little burrow dug deep into the warm, earthy bank. This was the home of a happy otter family, and the youngest, smallest pup was named Ripple. Ripple was a curious little otter, with whiskers that twitched with wonder and dark, shiny eyes that saw magic in everything. He loved the smell of the damp earth after a rain, the taste of sweet berries from the bushes, and the soft, mossy feel of his bed inside the burrow. Most of all, he loved to watch his older siblings, Splash and Dash. Splash and Dash were wonderful divers. They could slip into the river with a silent swoosh and swim all the way down to the bottom. Down there in the cool, quiet world under the water, they would find the most beautiful pebbles. Some were as white as a cloud, some were as green as a new leaf, and some were speckled with silver that glittered in the sun. They would bring their treasures back to the riverbank and practice juggling them, tossing the smooth stones from one paw to the other in a dazzling, click-clacking dance. Ripple longed to join their game. He wanted to feel a special, shiny pebble of his own, smooth and cool in his paws. But there was one problem. Ripple was afraid of the deep water. He was happy to paddle in the shallows, where the water tickled his tummy and the sun warmed his back. But the middle of the river, where the water turned a darker blue-green, seemed very big and a little bit scary. He would sit at the very edge, his paws dipped in the cool water, and watch his siblings' happy bubbles rise to the surface, wishing he could be as brave as them. One afternoon, as the sun began to paint the sky in shades of orange and pink, Mama Otter announced, "Tomorrow will be a perfect sunny day. We shall have our annual Sunshine Pebble Game." Splash and Dash yipped with excitement, already polishing their favorite stones. Ripple's heart did a little flip-flop. Oh, how he wanted to be in the Pebble Game. He wanted to show his family a beautiful pebble that he had found all by himself. A new feeling, stronger than his fear, bubbled up inside him. Determination. He padded to the water's edge. "I will practice," he whispered to a little frog watching him from a lily pad. He dipped his nose in. The water was cool and felt nice. He blew a few bubbles, which wobbled their way to the surface. He pushed off a little from the bank, but as soon as his paws could no longer touch the bottom, a shiver of fear ran through him, and he scurried back to the safety of the land. As he sat there, feeling a little sad, a tiny whirring sound buzzed near his ear. He looked up and saw a dragonfly with wings like tiny windows of rainbow glass. It was Flicker, the wise old dragonfly who had seen many seasons come and go along the river. "Trying to find a pebble, little one?" Flicker asked in a voice that sounded like the rustling of dry leaves. Ripple nodded, his whiskers drooping. "I want to, but the deep water is, well, it's too deep and too dark." The next morning, the sun was bright and warm, just as Mama Otter had predicted. It was the perfect day for the Sunshine Pebble Game. Seeing Splash and Dash already diving with joyful splashes, Ripple knew it was now or never. He took a deep, deep breath, squeezed his eyes shut, and pushed off into the swirling water. He went deeper than he ever had before. The sunlight grew dim, and strange long shadows danced around him like spooky seaweed. The quiet hum of the river filled his ears, and he felt a little lost and dizzy. It was all too much. Frightened, he kicked his strong back legs and shot up to the surface, gasping for air. He scrambled onto the bank, his fur dripping and his heart thumping. He felt cold and defeated. With a great big sigh that shook his whole little body, he whispered to the reeds, "Maybe I'm just not meant to be a diving otter." Just then, Flicker the dragonfly landed gently on a cattail beside him. "The river holds many wonders, little one," he buzzed softly. "But you tried to find them all at once. Try looking closely at the sunlight dancing on the surface first. Sometimes focusing on the light helps you forget the shadows below." Ripple looked at the water. Flicker was right. The sun was making a beautiful shimmering blanket of light on the surface, like 1,000 tiny diamonds sparkling just for him. It wasn't scary at all. It was beautiful. He took a slow, deep breath, just like he did when he was about to fall asleep in his cozy burrow. He slid back into the water, but this time he didn't close his eyes. He kept them open and looked at the wonderful dancing sunlight. He took another breath and dipped just his head under, watching the light shimmer and bend from below. It was magical. A little bit of his fear melted away. He tried again, going a little deeper this time, his paws paddling gently. He kept his eyes looking up toward the light. He felt a little braver. From the corner of his eye, he saw a flash of green, a pretty, mossy stone. He wasn't deep enough to get it, but seeing it made his heart feel excited instead of scared. Little by little, dive by dive, Ripple went deeper. Each time, he would focus on the light, and each time, the shadows seemed a little less spooky. Finally, with a brave little kick, he dived all the way down. His paws touched the soft, sandy riverbed, and there, nestled between two ordinary brown stones, was the most perfect pebble he had ever seen. It was smooth and round, and when the faint sunlight touched it, it shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. Carefully, Ripple tucked it into his paws and pushed off towards the light. When he popped up to the surface, he was holding his prize. He felt so proud, his whole body wanted to wiggle with joy. He showed his pebble to Flicker, who buzzed his rainbow wings in applause. At the Sunshine Pebble game, Ripple proudly placed his rainbow pebble with the others. It wasn't the biggest, but everyone agreed it was one of the most beautiful. He wasn't the best juggler, yet he dropped his pebble a few times, but he didn't mind at all. He had so much fun just being part of the game, and his family cheered for him the loudest of all because they knew how brave he had been. That night, snuggled warm and dry in the family burrow, Ripple held his smooth, cool pebble in his paws. He felt happy. He felt safe. And most of all, he felt brave. He had learned that even scary things can become wonderful adventures when you take them one small sunlit step at a time. Cuddled close to his mama, with the gentle sound of the river whispering outside, Ripple closed his eyes and drifted off to a peaceful sleep, dreaming of all the amazing underwater treasures he would find tomorrow.